Sounds. I'm just going to take some pictures of these bikes. Alright, catch you soon. Right people, good morning. As you saw in the last clip, dropped the bike off at the garage to get it serviced. One thing that I did ask them to take a look at was my indicators. So really frustratingly, at the moment, when I put the indicators on, they permanently stay fixed, i.e. the light comes on, the dash light comes on, but it's not flashing, it's just a fixed light. So not really safe, wouldn't pass the MOT, not ideal for coming up to biking season, certainly less than ideal for upcoming tours, namely Europe, but also potentially a trip to Wales on the upcoming bank holidays. So I'm off to pick my bike up now from the local service garage, and then I got to take it to Triumph to do a diagnostic on the indicators. So Martin sent me back a small fortune. I think they charge about 150 quid just to do a 40-minute diagnostic, so less than ideal. Apparently it's not a very common problem, although I have seen a few people on forums discussing the same issue. So something to do with the relay or the electronics or something, or some control panels that might need replacing. So I'm hoping it doesn't set me back like 500 quid or £1,000 or something stupid for a little indicator. But time will tell. Got a pretty busy morning, so I'm off to pick up my bike now. Got to drive it through to Triumph World in Chesterfield, and then Alex is going to pick me up and be my knight in shining armour, because obviously I'll be stranded. And then yeah, got a busy day from there. So it's currently about 10 to 8 in the morning. I'll report back when I'm at Triumph in Chesterfield, and fingers crossed we can get this sorted, because it might just be a spanner in the works and not ideal. Right, we've made it to Triumph Chesterfield. Let's hope they can fix this dodgy indicator. Let me just show you what I mean. Can you put the bike on? Flick the indicator. See, it's flashing now. That's ridiculous. Right, try again. It's flashing. Of course it is. It's flashing again. It's flashing. You can't write it, can you? It definitely don't work, trust me. Right, it's always sod's law, isn't it? But I promise you my indicator wasn't working. So I handed over the keys and just had a look at all of the brand spanking new bikes in Triumph. Made me realise that my 2019 Speed Twin is actually quite old now, but I do still love it. But it was very nice to have a look at the bikes. So long story short, Triumph did the diagnostic and concluded that the clocks need replacing. They did manage to plug in a spare pair of clocks, and they thought that might just about glitch the system into working again and handed me back the keys. But ultimately, if that didn't work, I was going to have to replace the clocks entirely. I never. My knight in shining armour. We said didn't need picking up at 8:40. What time is it?
8:41.
Exactly. What a fucking day.
Sorry.
My boy. Hi guys, we are riding back home. My knight in shining armour. Flex your arm. It's not pink, it's salmon.
He always wears pink.
Yeah, we're golfing. He's golfing. And hopefully the bike gets fixed. Europe's back on, Wales is back on. If I don't get a key in my tyre, we're all good. Yeah. Right, okay guys, so I've just gone to Triumph and picked up my Speed Twin, and I believe the indicators are now fixed. So look, it's indicating right, it's indicating left, turn off, hazards, working. So I guess it's just a matter of time to see how long it stays fixed for. Hopefully it's fixed for the foreseeable and I don't have to bring it back again. If I do have to bring it back again, it's going to be a £900 fix to replace the clocks, which I really don't want, having already spent 150 quid on a diagnostic. So big fingers crossed. Well, bad news is it's not working. Right, okay, good morning. It is now the next day. I'm in the garage. Ignore that mattress. issue still persists, really frustrating. So I'm actually going to go to Halfords and check the health of my battery, because ChatGPT reckons it could be a battery fluctuation voltage problem, and I might as well just check my battery's performing as it should and then try and disconnect it to see if that fixes it before I spend what's probably going to be £1,000 putting some new clocks on, and yeah, just stupid amount of money for an indicator really. So really disappointed. It's a premium bike, wouldn't expect to have to spend this much money to fix an indicator. Might make contact with Triumph if I have to, just to say, look, we've got this YouTube channel, anything you can do to help us out. So I'm going to ride to Halfords now anyway, see if we can, 1 in a million, get a battery to fix it cheap, and yeah, stay tuned, fingers crossed. Here I am on my way to Halfords. Long story short, got the battery tested, it was absolutely fine. As you can see, the indicator did stop working when I put the revs on, which is why I thought maybe it was something to do with voltage fluctuation or something weird with the electrics and the battery getting a surge, which stopped the indicators working. But the battery was in fine nick, which basically meant I had one choice left, and that was to go to Triumph to get it fixed, or I went and found a weird, dodgy alternative. But given the importance of needing the bike back as soon as possible and wanting it fixing, I went with getting it fixed by Triumph because I needed it doing by a trusted service provider really. Good news! My indicators are now fixed. Long story short, I had to replace the clocks. No way around it. It seemed to be the only fix following the diagnostic with Triumph. There's no issue with the battery, nothing else that could be done. I could have maybe wired in some aftermarket indicators and reconnected those up, but for peace of mind, we've got the tours coming up. I just want my bike immediately rideable in the riding season now it's here, and especially the European tour we've got coming up in June. I just really wanted it doing, and although it was a crazy amount of money to get fixed, Triumph did help me out following an email to the after sales team. So thank you very much Triumph for subsidising the costs of the replacement. In the end they only charged me half the cost of the standard RRP of the clocks and no labour charges. But even with that discount, the post VAT cost, including the diagnostic, probably cost me about £630. So quite an expensive fix for what should be a relatively straightforward thing. However, I think that's it's almost the fault of an over-engineered part. You know, it's almost, they're too smart for their own good really. But moving on, the bike's now fixed. We've just had some amazing weather. Moving into the bank holiday now. That's going to be the May Day bank holiday for those that are watching, and it's about 5 weeks, or just over 4 weeks really, until me and Alex go to Europe. So what was a slight hiccup has now been overcome. Looking forward to getting out on the bike, looking forward to making more videos. Hopefully we'll make a few more Road to Europe episodes as well, maybe even a little tour to Wales or something, weather depending. So yeah, glad that's sorted. I'm just going to enjoy riding my bike now on the Friday night on the way home from Triumph Garage. Let's go. Right, okay guys, me and Big Banny B have met up on the Bonneville's for another ride. We're off to go and see an abandoned plane in the Peak District. He's got his new helmet on, we're loving life. We may have a secret surprise for you in this backpack, so stay tuned. It's going to be a pretty spicy video. Alright, cat's out the bag. You can clearly see we've invested in a drone. Something that we hope will level up the channel. Gives you that 3D aerial perspective, something that you could only dream of before, even just a few years ago, needing a helicopter crew to capture these sorts of images. And now we've got it in a small fold-up DJI drone in our back pocket. Of course we're taking this to Europe. All I'm picturing is amazing scenic shots, going through the Alps, going through the Black Forest. Bring it on. So as you can see, the piloting, the footage, it's a little bit clunky. Pretty much first time using this. But with a bit of practice, add some cinematic touches, we're really looking forward to seeing how this is going to level up the quality of our videos. So just had a great ride over towards Snake Pass. Unfortunately, the aeroplane that is famously crashed in the peaks is about an hour's walk from where we were, which we weren't kitted out for, so we quickly rode back and went for a very nice lunch at Castleton. Obviously had to get the famous shot through Hope Valley, and had a little scare when the drone went out of range, but luckily it did return by itself, so better to test that out here than in some Swiss Alps region and never see the drone again. We didn't actually go to Wales in the end, but instead we had another day on the bikes over to the east coast, all the way up to Staithes, passing back down through Whitby, Scarborough and Filey, and just had a fantastic day out on the bikes, probably about 8 or 9 hours in the saddle in total. Definitely considered Europe training. Right, okay, we're going to close the video out here. Good news is, clocks are working, got a drone, road to Europe is well and truly alive. As day of filming this, what is it, 5th of May? 5th of May, we're off to Europe on the 6th of June, so we've got 4 weeks and a day until we're off for a massive 2-week tour of a lifetime. Stay tuned, subscribe, hit the bell.
Thank you.
Let's go. See you then.
Bye.
Bye, Matt.